There's this really weird debate happening around AI right now. On one hand, you've got tech leaders saying prompt engineering is this hot new career. And on the other, you have people kind of scoffing. Like, wait, just typing sentences is a real job now? It's creating this massive divide.
But this whole debate is at the heart of a huge misunderstanding. See, the truth is, there's a massive skill gap. A really great prompter can get what feels like magic out of an AI, while most of us, we're stuck getting these bland, generic results. And that difference, that gap, well, that's exactly what we're going to fix right now.
So does this sound familiar to you? You ask the AI for, say, 5 video ideas, or a marketing slogan, or an email draft, and what you get back is, well, it's fine. It's okay, but it's totally forgettable, right? It sounds like everything else out there, and it's definitely not the brilliant idea you had in your head.
Okay, here's the first big mindset shift we need to make. It is not the AI's fault. The real problem is that we're giving it a practically empty canvas, and then we expect it to paint a masterpiece. We're just not providing enough context, enough constraints, enough of the world that we're seeing in our own minds. In short, we're not giving it the puzzle pieces it needs to succeed.
So how do we fix this? The answer is in a fundamental change in how we even think about prompting. It's about shifting from being a simple task assigner to becoming a world builder.
So world-building prompting, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. You create the context, the rules, the key elements of a world. Your job is to hand over those critical puzzle pieces, and the AI's job is to use its incredible knowledge base to fill in the gaps in a way that makes perfect sense for the world you've just built.
All right, let's try a little experiment. Imagine I'm prompting you right now. I'm building a world for you, piece by piece. So first piece, we're on a desert planet. Everything is sand. It's so incredibly dry that people have to wear these special suits just to recycle moisture from the atmosphere to survive. Okay, here's the second piece of the puzzle, conflict. In this sandy, barren world, there are these warring clans. They are constantly fighting each other, and they're all fighting over some kind of really precious resource that's hidden deep beneath all that sand.
Now, with just those 2 little pieces of context, a dry desert world and warring clans fighting over something in the sand, I've got a question for you. If this world had giant creatures roaming around, what kind of creatures do you think they would be? Just take a second. What's the first thing that pops into your head? And if the first thing that popped into your head was sandworms, then congratulations. You just did exactly what a large language model does. See, I gave you a few references: sand, scarcity, conflict, things under the ground. And your brain, probably referencing stuff like the movie Dune, filled in that gap with the most logical, creative answer it could think of. And this right here really shows the difference. I mean, look at this. The lazy prompt, give me an idea for a giant creature, gets you a generic fantasy answer. A troll, a cyclops, you know the deal. But the world builder prompt, the one that gives it those puzzle pieces, that gets a specific, creative, and totally relevant answer. This is the whole game, right here on this slide.
So the most important thing to get is this: world building is your job, not the AI's. When you don't give it enough puzzle pieces, it just defaults to the most generic world it knows, which is exactly why everyone's AI output starts to sound exactly the same. The more unique your pieces are, the more unique your result is going to be.
Okay, so we've got the mindset down. That's the why. But how do we actually do it? Let's get practical. I'm going to give you 3 powerful techniques you can start using today. First up, personas. This is one of the easiest and honestly most powerful ways to give the AI context. Instead of just asking a question, you tell the AI who it should be when it answers. Asking it to act as a biology professor is going to get you a completely different response than "explain this to me like I'm 5." You're basically controlling the tone, the complexity, and the whole style of the output with one simple instruction.
And this table just brilliantly illustrates the power of personas. Look, we've asked the AI to explain a really complex physics concept, Faraday's law, in 3 totally different modes. For a 5-year-old, it's basically magic. For a 10-year-old, we get a force field analogy. And for a 25-year-old physics student, boom, you get the actual differential equations. It's the same topic, but 3 wildly different and perfectly tailored responses.
All right, next up, metaprompting. Now this one's for those really big, complex requests. So instead of a lazy prompt like "design a website like Stripes," you ask the AI to help you write a better prompt. It's a 2-step process. First, you ask it to break down the task. What are all the core components of Stripe's website design? It'll spit out a checklist for you. Then, step 2, you edit that checklist. You add your own brand details, your own spin. And finally, you feed that super detailed plan back to the AI. You're basically using the AI to build its own instructions. It's genius.
And finally, technique number 3 is all about going deep. Don't just ask for a simple book summary. You want to ask for the red pill insights. Use phrases like, give me the deep, non-obvious insights, or give me actionable evidence. My absolute favorite prompt for this is, what does this book believe that most of the world doesn't? You're telling the AI specifically to look for the contrarian, unique ideas, not just a boring rehash of the main points.
Okay, now even with these great prompts, you can sometimes get that generic, kind of robotic writing style. Let's call them AI stains. But the good news is they are incredibly easy to spot and to fix once you know what you're looking for.
I swear you've seen these sentences a million times. They always follow the same pattern. X is more than just Y, or it goes beyond simple Z. It's this structure that's trying really hard to sound profound, but honestly, it's just a dead giveaway of AI writing, and it's so wordy.
So the fix is ridiculously simple. Just be direct. Instead of that long, winding, trying to sound smart sentence, just say what you mean. AI can be a creative partner, not just an automation tool. See, it's shorter, it's punchier, and it sounds way more human. Just avoiding that one sentence structure will probably eliminate like 70% of that AI feel from your text.
So we've talked about using AI for creative work, for research, but the final and maybe the most powerful application is using AI for self-discovery. It can literally become a mirror that reflects your own mind back to you.
This technique is called the gap finder. In a tool that can remember your conversations like Notebook LM or even just a really long chat GPT thread, you can ask the AI to analyze your entire history with it. It can point out the gaps in your knowledge, maybe blind spots in your reasoning, or even flaws in your logic. It becomes this totally safe space to get critical feedback without feeling judged.
This is the key question. Every week or so, you can just ask your AI, based on everything we've talked about, what are my knowledge gaps? Where am I missing information? And it might tell you that, hey, your understanding of the immune system is way too simple, or that you're overlooking a key aspect of your business plan. This is how AI makes you smarter.
And you can take it a step further. The AI, because it's learned your interests, can act as your own personalized guide. You can ask it, based on my interests, what should I learn next? And it might connect your interests in, say, psychology and economics, and suggest you read about something called costly signaling. It opens up these new paths for learning that you probably would have never found on your own.
So we started with this idea that prompting is just a skill, right? A way to get better output from a tool. But as you can see, it is so much more than that. It's a way to organize your thoughts, to deepen your research, and ultimately to understand yourself better. The AI is a mirror, and it reflects the world that you build for it. So the only question left is, what are you going to ask it to show you?